On April 27, 2025, the city of Banja Luka, Serbia, was buzzing with excitement as fight fans gathered for IBA Pro 4, a major professional boxing card featuring 9 competitive bouts. Among them, the opening welterweight fight promised to be an intriguing clash between a promising local talent and a seasoned visiting fighter, Alexey Shendrik, making his professional debut, and Artem Pugach, a Russian veteran with 14 pro fights under his belt. Shendrik, just 21 years old, entered the ring with a strong amateur pedigree. He had reached the quarterfinals of the European U-22 Championships, represented Serbia at the 2023 World Championships, and advanced deep into Olympic qualifiers before being halted by Ruslan Abdulov. The crowd, mostly local supporters, erupted as Shendrik walked to the gold corner, his white trunks shining under the lights, demonstrating confidence and anticipation despite the high stakes of his first professional fight. On the other side, Pugach, wearing black, carried the aura of experience. Known for his aggressive style, durability, and consistent work rate, Pugach had earned respect across multiple countries, recently impressing in the UK against an undefeated opponent. As the fighters met in the center of the ring, referee Marija Pepkovic gave final instructions, signaling the start of 6 scheduled rounds. The crowd was electric, sensing that they were witnessing the beginning of a potentially spectacular career for Shendrik. The contrast in styles was clear from the first seconds. Shendrik's light-footed movement, quick jabs, and sharp counters against Pugach's forward pressure, long left hands, and body attacks. Both fighters circled cautiously, measuring distance, with Shendrik attempting to pull Pugach into openings while the Russian veteran looked to test his defenses. The tension was palpable. Every step, every feint, every jab mattered. This was not just a fight. It was a narrative of youth facing experience, skill facing durability, and ambition confronting reality in the professional boxing arena. The opening round set the tone for what would become a tactical, methodical battle. From the outset, the contrasting styles of Shendrik and Pugach became evident. Shendrik, moving lightly on his toes, relied on footwork, feints, and precise jabs, often keeping just enough distance to avoid Pugach's heavy left-hand shots. Pugach, meanwhile, stayed relentless, probing with straight punches to the head and powerful hooks to the body. Despite being his first professional fight, Shendrik displayed remarkable composure. He began to establish control, landing clean right hands and uppercuts while using lateral movement to evade pressure. By mid-round, it became apparent that Shendrik was attempting to dictate the pace, subtly inviting Pugach into exchanges where he could counter effectively. Pugach, though, showcased why he was a tested professional. His ability to absorb shots, maintain a steady forward march, and continually look for openings to land meaningful strikes kept Shendrik alert. As the first round closed, Shendrik landed a solid left to the body, signaling he could hurt the veteran if given the opportunity, while Pugach's persistence reminded everyone of his reputation for durability. The second round intensified the tactical battle. Shendrik began experimenting with angles, occasionally switching to southpaw to confuse Pugach and create openings. Pugach responded by doubling his efforts to cut off the ring, landing several body shots that tested Shendrik's stamina. The home crowd, sensing a shift, began cheering more fervently, recognizing that their local fighter was not just surviving, he was beginning to impose himself. Analysts watching the bout noted that while Pugach had the advantage of experience, Shendrik's speed, timing, and ring intelligence were leveling the field. By the end of round 2, it was clear that the young Serbian had started to find his rhythm. As the fight progressed into the third and fourth rounds, Shendrik's confidence continued to grow. His movements became sharper, and he began controlling the center of the ring. Pugach, true to his style, refused to yield, pressing forward with body shots and occasional head combinations, forcing Shendrik to remain vigilant. Analysts highlighted how Shendrik's timing allowed him to capitalize on Pugach's aggressive, but sometimes overextended attacks. Key moment occurred when Pugach threw a long left hand to the body but caught himself slightly off balance, exposing him to counter from Shendrik. This was emblematic of the fight, Shendrik's precision versus Pugach's experience and forward pressure. Midway through the bout, Shendrik started planting shots to the ribs, slowly wearing on Pugach while keeping his own energy levels manageable. The crowd cheered louder with each successful combination, sensing a turning point. Pugach showed resilience, occasionally landing effective punches and reminding everyone that he was a formidable opponent. The narrative of youth versus experience played out in real time. Shendrik used speed, agility, and tactical awareness, while Pugach relied on conditioning, pressure, and ringcraft. The strategic exchanges of these rounds made it clear that Shendrik was not just competing, he was asserting dominance. By the end of round 4, observers suggested that Shendrik had established a slight edge on points, though Pugach's durability ensured that the contest remained competitive. The young Serbian's corner encouraged him to maintain his work rate, recognizing that sustaining momentum over the final 2 rounds would be crucial to securing victory. Entering the 5th round, the fight had reached a critical stage. Shendrik's corner urged him to turn the screw, pushing for more decisive combinations while maintaining defensive discipline. Pugach, aware of the threat, continued to press forward relentlessly, landing occasional hooks and jabs to test Shendrik's resolve. For Shendrik, this round represented the challenge of transitioning from amateur strategy to professional execution. He had to maintain high-tempo movement, combine offense with tactical defense, and keep Pugach off balance while conserving stamina for the final round. The exchanges were intense. Each punch carried weight as the fighters began to sense the outcome of the contest. Shendrik landed crisp shots to the body, forcing Pugach to adjust and creating opportunities for counters to the head. Dynamic was mesmerizing. Shendrik controlling distance, Pugach pressing forward, both blending strategy with instinct. The home crowd, sensing that their fighter was dominating the narrative, erupted in support. By the end of round 5, it was evident that Shendrik's combination of precision, timing, and mental composure had given him an advantage. Pugach, despite his durability and experience, was now reacting to Shendrik's strategy rather than dictating his own. The commentary highlighted how a young professional debutant could, through disciplined execution, challenge a seasoned fighter and control the flow of a 6-round bout. The psychological dimension was as crucial as the physical one. Shendrik needed to maintain focus, avoid fatigue, and ensure that he closed the fight strongly in round 6 to secure a clear victory. The 6th and final round commenced with anticipation thick in the arena. Shendrik, sensing that the bout was within his grasp, continued moving dynamically, landing lead hands and body shots, mixing angles, and occasionally dipping to set up uppercuts. Pugach, true to form, pressed forward, seeking to land meaningful punches and prevent Shendrik from dominating the finish. The exchanges demonstrated the difference between amateur success and professional adaptation. Shendrik now showed power behind his punches, using solid foot placement to maximize impact while minimizing vulnerability. The crowd rose to their feet as Shendrik landed several clean combinations, highlighting his superior timing and ring intelligence. Pugach, though absorbing pressure, never ceased his efforts, demonstrating the heart and conditioning that made him a tough opponent. As the final bell rang, both fighters embraced the moment, acknowledging the intensity of the battle. Judges scored the fight and the announcement came. Alexey Shendrik had won by unanimous decision, marking a triumphant professional debut. At 21, Shendrik had successfully translated amateur skill into the pro ranks, blending speed, technique, stamina, and strategy to overcome a durable, experienced fighter. Pugach earned respect for his toughness and relentless effort, providing a valuable test for the debutant. The crowd erupted in celebration as Shendrik raised his gloves, a symbol of potential and the beginning of a promising career. The fight was more than just a victory. It was a lesson in composure, strategy, and ambition, demonstrating how a young fighter can assert dominance through skill, preparation, and mental fortitude. Fans and analysts alike recognized this bout as the start of an exciting journey for Serbia's rising star, a debut that showcased not only talent, but the heart and intelligence required to thrive in professional boxing.